Hello? Hello? Osa, can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay. Maybe he's gone off.
Yeah, I think it's the problem is from his side.
Okay, brilliant. So Theo, let's hear you. What are your plans? We're trying to draft in the PRP young lady from Ogun State to represent PRP. So when she comes about this thing, we can't wait for a national chairman again. The presidential candidate just sent me a text and that he's on the road. Okay, is it okay for the VP to replace her? Honestly, okay. So he's asking if it's okay for the vice president to represent, vice president candidate to represent for PRP. I say it's okay. Let him come and join. Let it be sweeter. I mean?
Okay, so what do you want us
let's
to do
go
now?
5 minutes. You tell me about the economic. Choose one area: economy, education, or security. What do you think LP is bringing to the table in any of those three areas? Please, 5 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, fine. You know, like I said before, see, and I'm not holding brief for anyone, but I would like to say something here and now. If you look at Osa and you look at Tope, these are people that we know each other, brilliant-minded. We've struggled to build businesses here ourselves on our own. We've not dependent on anybody, not on Mr. Tinubu, not on Mr. Obi, and not on Mr. Atiku. These are people, one way or the other, two people in this election, prior to this election that we're going to have. We've seen the goes, if I could call it that, from two people who want to be president of Nigeria, about indicting each other about the things they had done either to now. Now, a Mr. Obi, for me, what can he do? I would rather say that what we must focus on is about ourselves as individuals. What can you do for the nation? Civility. Pay your taxes. Look at yourself. Don't expect, we're a people, for instance, we're too focused on one.
For a second there, please.
Yes,
you're campaigning. You guys.
Okay. I apologize.
Yeah. So what exactly is the Labour Party saying that they're bringing to the table, either for the economy, or education, or security? Now, the presidential candidate of LP has been very, very open with his talks on the economy. So just tell us, like, in 2 more minutes, what he has said, and then
what the Labour Party will try to do is to rebuild the pillars of the economy.
Yes.
The education.
Yes.
How do we do that? We go back to the basics. You see, it's not going to be fixed. I'm not going to sit down and tell you 8 years. If even does 20 years, can this country be fixed in a whim? No. How do we go about it? It's about those pillars of the economy, starting to do things well, properly, and then being accountable. For me as a person, it's about accountability of what we have in our hands. What is in our hands? Able to account for those monies, sorting out our finances, sorting out our taxes, be accountable as a government.
Okay, brilliant.
First of all, we go on.
Brilliant.
All right.
Brilliant. So what, according to Theo, what LP is bringing to the economy, to the table, regards economy's accountability? You get brilliant. Okay, Joshua, 5 minutes. What is APC bringing to the table? Either economy, education, or security? Someone has just mentioned.
I'm going to talk about the economy. Ed, please, I want you to time me, and please try not to interrupt. It's 5:59. 5 minutes. I'll speak very fast. So first of all, I'd like to talk to one or two things that Osa and Theo spoke about. So Osa spoke about the fact that under PDP we had some growth rate. Indeed, it is true that we had some growth rate up to about 6% under PDP, especially in the Obasanjo government and into the Yar'Adua government. When crude oil went up to about $140, we had that growth rate. However, what we are promising, this time around under Asiwaju government is the only person that has committed to a 10% growth in GDP levels and to double the economy within 6 to 7 years. That's a lot of promise, and I wonder why no other of these other guys have thought about that. Again, also, I also say, according to what Theo said, that they are bringing in accountability. It's valid. It's valid. We know that we need a lot more accountability in Nigeria, especially around public spending and the public sector management. But we are bringing in also imagination. Okay, we're bringing imagination, so not just accountability. Therefore, I'm going to share and also see what we can. Let me share something and show you exactly what I'm sharing. Where I'm here today is to show what it's already on the paper, which you can hold everybody to. Private sector-led government with public sector responsibility, pursuit of food security, return of commodity boards for the agriculture, as well as empowering commodity exchanges that will secure the agricultural end of the economy and also guarantee minimum prices for farmers. That's very, very important. Also dealing with supply side inflation through enhancement of productivity. So Asiwaju government is the only government that, as it is right now, the only one that's promising to go against the grain. And you can see on the screen that I just extracted this from this manifesto. 10% GDP growth, that's something that you can hold us to and say, listen, how is this going to happen? And we know that we have the resources to make this happen. Also, he's talking about focuses on security, through the establishment of what they call ABAT, which is the battalion, that's anti-terrorist battalion, strengthening of police and intel services as well as armed forces, because we have the human capital. The young people of this country are the ones that will save this country and deliver the goods for this country. Also to slow down on FCY, foreign currency borrowing, remove petrol subsidy. Clearly say, look, we have to do this because it has outlived its cost, and it's a cesspit for looting by a few Nigerians in the oil sector. He said that the fiscal policy will be the main driver of the economy, not monetary policy. We have to go back. And, that means that in terms of government expenditure, we would be doing the right thing. We need to do a lot for Nigerians. This linked national budget, you see, if you look at the national budget, you realize that all they talk about is crude oil. So he's saying that we need to dislink that and think about other parts of the economy that can add value. Also, he says that we need to expand the manufacturing base, consolidate the National Infrastructure Fund, and also, this is somebody who's ready to think. So he's saying that, listen, people are coming to say, oh, climate change. Oh, in fact, shut down everything, go green. But we have coal in Enugu, we have crude oil in the ground, we have gas. So we're talking about climate justice, not climate change. To say that the climate change thing should not slow down our economy. This is somebody that's bringing hope to Nigeria. And of course, Lagos is a template in terms of infrastructure, for example, he's talking about an integrated transport framework. On energy, he's talking about evolving transmission and also pursuing cost-effective, cost-reflective tariff, and also empowering our universities and polytechnics to be centers of excellence for the generation and distribution of electricity, especially in the rural area. He's talking about one very important thing. He's the only one that's saying this: consumer credit revolution, to empower the economy and also focus on made in Nigerian goods. He's talking about mortgages for Nigerians. And look, let me tell you what, this economy can grow 15-20% in a year if we do the right thing. And we're talking about somebody with imagination, using artificial intelligence in the crude oil sector, monetize Nigeria's gas resources. In fact, he said he's ready to strike new deals with IOCs, that's international oil companies, and where possible, discount his deferred profits and get the money today. So he's talking about monetizing a lot of things so that we can get a lot of money for infrastructure, and also to tinker with the FAC formula when necessary and cede more to the states and local government, empower the states and local government, and optimize government revenue and borrow less. Unfortunately, we've done too much borrowing, and that's becoming a big issue for us. And he's saying that, listen, if we have to offer tax deals to international oil companies to reverse their exodus, so be it. Like I said earlier on, this is somebody that's ready to, strike an elite consensus, bring all the so-called big guys to the table and let them understand that, listen, we can bake a bigger cake for everybody to have more in this country, to increase standard of living for most Nigerians, And we have to just depart from this idea of we're plowing. We're still a lot of parts of Nigeria are still in the 17th, 18th century when the world is moving on. So basically, that's it. I think that the economy is where it's at for the Asiwaju government, if and when it comes in 2023 February, by God's grace. Thank you.
God bless you. Osa, 5 minutes. But before Osa comes on board, please, we are streaming on YouTube, so people can watch us on YouTube right now. And then we also have with us the vice presidential candidate for PRP. The vice presidential candidate for PRP coming to give more firepower for PRP. So, Conventi, I don't know how you can move him to the panel so that it'll be easy for him to contribute when it's time for him to talk. So, Conventi, please help us move help us move the PRP vice presidential candidate to panel. I'll get his email address and then move it to you. Yeah. So, also, let's hear you. PDP, what are you bringing to the table? Either any of these three. We're not hearing you, sir. Unmute yourself.
PDP has proven themselves before in time before. So, and we're still going to come back again. We're still going to rescue the country back. Now, for my candidate, before I go to what my good friend, Dr. Sope just said there, my candidate has an agenda that he is following, in which is basing his own agenda on his coming to Nigeria. Security, unifying the country. We're already disunified based on what this party came to bring to us. Economic prosperity, education, and restructuring. Those are our core focus for this administration, if voted in power by Nigerians. But let me just go, since majority of them are talking about economy. So let me stay on the line of the economy. Now, for us as a party, our focus and our own principle of our economic agenda is based on private sector-led initiative. We have done it before. We're going to do it again. Breaking government monopoly in key sectors. Government has regulated so many key sectors in Nigeria, so you need to free up those monopoly that government has, and also leveraging on markets as a determinant force for prices. So now for the economy, we want to create that private partnership initiative, whereby the country should be run by the private sector, not government. For example, now the government still runs railway. No. Government should do regulatory, be the regulator for the railway, while me and you will invest and put the wagons on the railway. So what we're trying to do is to make sure that government removes her hand from different things that they are doing. Like Nigerian federal government is like an octopus. That's why our presidents are so powerful. We have hands, and our hands are different pies. So what Atiku Abubakar is saying, that he's going to decentralize those things, he's going to make government, going to practice a lean government, whereby recurrent, for example, look at the recurrent expenditure. It goes to government. Half of it or so, or about goes to government, or 70% of it goes to government to run the Nigerian federal government, or even including the state. So what we're trying to do now under Atiku Abubakar is that we are making sure that government is going to be a lean government, while it is a private sector-led initiative. He's a businessman, so you understand the point of why the private sector should lead government, why government do the regulation and create an enabling environment. We have seen it done before, where we have the telecommunication sector. That's a very, very good example. And we know what that telecommunication sector do, that revolution has done to us. What we are doing now is a beneficiary of that sector. Now that sector is on its own, is being regulated by a government agency. And mind you, that government agency was set up under the PDP-led government, and we are still benefiting from it. That sector manages that sector. The regulator manages the business people who brought in billions of naira, billions of dollars into the Nigerian economy, creating jobs, creating prosperity for people. People are benefiting. The revolution we have now, where you see people on online business, running from Twitter, running businesses on Twitter, doing online businesses, came from that single sector alone. We forget little things. That when you say GDP growth has happened in the entertainment sector, now entertainment sector is doing well. Why? Just because of the regulation of the telecommunications sector. The same thing Atiku Abubakar is going to pursue when voted into power. We are going to liberalize this economy. We're going to open up the economy. Unfortunately for us, all the hard work that we have done over the couple of years, the APC government came in and closed shop and closed the keys and threw the keys up in the ocean. Now we're all suffering. So when we come in, we're going to open this country out. Yes, definitely. And I'd like to make a point of correction. There is no way on earth that you can guarantee 10% growth rate per annum. It's not possible, especially in a country like ours. Even United States, even Japan are doing under three to four digits. And you're saying you want to do 10? These are part of the promises that they gave us in 2015. This same man told us, the candidate, the principal that he said, told us that they're going to create millions of jobs per year. We have not seen those jobs. Rather, we saw 774,000 jobs, which was a 3-month job, which they were paying 20,000 naira. We saw them wasting our hard-earned resources. The jobs provided by the PDP government, it's what sustain this country. So for Atiku Abubakar, everything is going to be private-led. Government assets that are moribund, that we're spending money. For example, I read somewhere that some of the refineries we spend as average of 100 billion naira every year just without producing a drop of fuel. So we're going to sell those things to Nigerians. Let Nigerians manage those things. Let government focus on delivering security. Let government focus on regulation. Let government focus on policies on healthcare. Let governments have enough resources to do so many things for this country. Thank you.
So from what I hear from because I'm seeing these arguments are beginning to fall naturally into place. Do you get me now? On the two sides, PDP and APC. NNP, I can't really seem to feel their economic position, and LP has been more motivational. So basically, APC is pushing for a left of center engagement with the economy, where we have big government and where government drives economic progress. Do you get? And then PDP is saying that PDP is now right of center, where they're saying less government, let the private initiative push. I'm hoping that by the time I give LP and NNPP a second chance, they'll be able to dimension very clearly their party's policies towards either the economy or education or security. Because right now, from their first engagement, I don't really get the hang of where those two parties are starting. But now, let's see. The vice president candidate for LP and for PRP is with us. I want him to speak. Now, News Agency of Nigeria is with us. They are taking notes, they are recording, and they will most likely bring out their reports on this, and they'll send it out to about 50 news. Now, please, nobody is a candidate on this place. People are very aggressively, very vigorously, and that's the idea behind this talk. Do you get me now? They're individual parties. This thing. We are streaming on live on YouTube live as we speak. The cable is also going to report. So this is just an opportunity for you as ordinary citizens in quotes to push the walls from the street, with your own little way of supporting your company. Supporting your party. Now, Mr. PRP, Mr. Zego, Covetti, is Mr. Zego now on the panel? Sorry?
Representing Mr. Zigo, my name is Babangida H. Idason.
God bless you. Let's go.
From Abuja. Yeah.
So basically, you introduce yourself to us, and then go straight to tell us about PRP's policy towards the economy, education, or security. I give you 10 minutes.
Thank you very much.
I give you 7 minutes. 7 minutes.
Very much. I'm very grateful. Thanks for this amazing initiative. My name is Babangida H. Idaso. I'm a member of the Presidential Campaign Council for Kola Abiola and Harold Zigo of the PRP. PRP is the oldest party in Nigeria, as we all know right now in modern times. PRP means People's Redemption Party. Our logo is a key. We're trying to say we have the key to unlock the destinies for Nigeria. We have a track record. I hear all these other parties' representatives speaking, and it's making some things boil in me. Nigerians are not stupid. We can't start listening to our APC representative tell me they'll do 10% growth. These are the same promises they gave in 2015. So you cannot, once bitten, twice shy. PDP was there for 16 years. What did they do? And they are coming here to tell me that they'll do this, they'll do that. PRP is the only party that has a track record of having been there in governance in 2 states, when Kano was the biggest state in the Northwest and when Kaduna was comprising of Kaduna and Jigawa, or Kaduna and Katsina. PRP, when Balarabe Musa was governor and Aminu Kano were governors, they have the track record that they kept their promises. And then when you come to the personal lives of the candidates, Kola Abiola and Harris Dogo, go check them. They are businessmen. Kola Abiola has been there in business since from the days of Smith Oil until the government came after him. He has a track record of delivering for the people. PRP has a track record of delivering for the people. Go check out Aminu Kano's track record. Go check Balarabe Musa's track record. They all have a personal life track record and a political party track record of saying, hey, we are here for the people. And the manifesto has been the same. It has never changed. It has never changed. PRP is saying, hey, everything you do, if the motive is for the people, if the motive has the people in mind, you wouldn't need too much PowerPoints to be talking. You get into action, you swing into action. If the policies you are carrying out is for the people, even if the government runs railway or not, or if they run it pari passu with private investors, if the true policy, if the motive of those policies is for the people, it won't be a problem. So PRP is coming out to say, hey, all our policies, from education, from fiscal policies, from foreign affairs, everything we're doing, the central theme, the fulcrum of our policy and our governance will be the Nigerian people. And if you have that at the back of your mind, even when the professors or the laymen or whoever sit on the table with decision makers to carry out policies or to formulate policies for Nigerians, it will be really for the people. The truth is nobody cares about these people. I'll use this CBN policy as an example. I mean, when there was COVID and the palliatives were hiding and people were going to loot the palliatives, where did the senators come out to speak? None. But now they're saying senators are coming out. We want government because it concerns them. All these other parties do not care about the people. I think I'll rest my case for now. Thank you very much.
NNPP, you seem to have the same, you seem to share the same roots with PRP. What do you think of what this PRP man just said now? NNPP.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yes. So I said you seem to share almost the same pedigree with PRP, and you have strength in almost the same geographical parts of the country. What do you think of what you just said now, the PRP person?
Well, what my brother, the representative of PRP, is saying, he is not far from the truth. He's saying the truth, and of course, coming on board to come and rule this country, we are not saying that our party is the best. But what the party is holding...
It's not there, it's upstairs.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Can you mute people?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you, but hold on a second. Coventry, can you mute people, please? Okay, go ahead, NNPP.
Okay, now, what the PRP is saying, what the PRP man is saying, like I say, is saying the truth. This is practical example of what we are saying. We are not saying that when the party come on board as a president is going to deliver Nigeria 100%. What's this APC, the economic of what APC has spoiled, and this rate of sufferness that is in this country now cannot be repaired. It can just take a gradual processes. And with that gradual processes, we can get it right. And with the gradual processes, we can get it right. Let's take, for example, like Kano as one of the largest states of the country. one of the largest states of the country, where we have Almajiris, where we have all these uneducated people and poor economy. And my own, like my principal, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, everybody look, you see, it's not by talking or by making noise. You see the lives that he has touched, the economy that he has bring together and make it stable for the Kano people to enjoy. So if a man like that can do that in Kano, I believe so much in him that, and the party, that they can do the same to the country, and which we are going to get it right. But it's gradual process.
Okay. LP, I'm already seeing questions now. Question from Taiwo Motor Show, but please, when you get to the question time, I'll read out the question. So right now, the candidates are still talking. LP, Theo, are you with us, LP?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so your candidate has been accused variously of misinforming Nigerians, and you confidently say, go and verify. You know, he will say things that are outright false, and you say, go and verify very boldly. Is that a character weakness?
Well, what I would say is that, you see, sometimes a human being is fallible, and I would not want to, because this is something I also do not stand for, so I would not want to say here before you and say that, you know, I will tell people to go to Blazes and go and do whatever you want, or the bullion van missed road and entered my house, or say something that is not true. Yes, I've seen him. I think we've also had some of these conversations on the Duke Summit, where the man actually says things and he believes to be true. Now, that is for me to say that, come, someone is human. You know, I'm not going to say Obama will speak something. It's very prone to people who speak from the heart, to say things, and then you may not be off score or off fact. But when you want somebody, because I'm a very good orator, and there are times you speak so passionately sometimes about things that may not be factually true, not because you want to lie to people, but because you're just so impassioned sometimes, and you say things just because you want to validate them to be true, or probably because you feel that by saying those things, you know, you could pass the message more strongly. What I would say in that respect is that I believe that the principal of the Labour Party, he means well. And I say this conscientiously, that he means well. You know, I'm not somebody I have no links to the man. I don't have his phone number. I don't have any, you know, anything to gain from him beyond the fact that I believe that he is the man for the job as at this point in time. You know, I'm very passionate about that I believe he is the man right now at this point in time that we need to do the right thing. There's a need for change in Nigeria.
Thank you. Dr. Fashua.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Fashua, Theo is saying that the man means well, and as such, we should ignore the character weakness that we're seeing there now. What's your own take?
Well, I'll say that, how much time do I have?
5 minutes, 5 minutes. Everybody's 5 minutes.
So time me, please. Time me. I always time myself. 18:23 now, 6:23. So they say that the road to hell, the road to perdition, is filled with good intentions. So indeed, yes, Obi may have very good intentions, but so does everybody. I also have very good intentions. How do we get from where we are to where we're going is the issue. And of course, I admit that, look, nobody is perfect. So I won't hold Obi up on that, on the character flaw. I think it's a bit petty to want to pin him down on a character flaw. Perhaps it's their camp. They always look for character flaws. Oh, Tinubu did this one, Tinubu did that one. Honestly speaking, from where I'm coming and what I understand about Bola Ahmed, you know, we don't play that. We play a long game. And of course, to the PRP guy who came in blazing, 2 guns blazing, you know, look, PRP is a far left organization. It's always been since the days of Aminu Kano, Talakawa Party. Unfortunately, you guys are not business oriented. Nigerians are natural entrepreneurs, okay? So you can't come with this idea that everybody should queue up for food and all of that, all that talk about, playing to the gallery about populism. No, it's not like that. Nigerians are far wiser now, and they understand that a good government is a government that does right, okay, governs well, but enables Nigerians to express themselves. So APC, and especially Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is left of center. Unlike Atiku, who is a far-right person who's talking about privatize or privatizables. We're not thinking about that. We also know the hurdles we have to cross in terms of going against the general and in fact the pervasive idea that everything has to be about privatization. The Americans, we probably live in a unipolar world today. The Americans rule the roost. They don't want to hear anybody talking of anything apart from privatization and all of those kind of things. So please, you can't come at us as that. In fact, no presidential candidate in this country, maybe apart from my humble self in 2019, has promised 10% GDP growth on a year-on-year basis. What that means is prosperity for all. And I look at American history, I say to myself, listen, forget about the party platform, okay? But Tinubu is going to be remarkably different from Muhammadu Buhari. In the same American democracy that we're copying, we've had a Republican in the person of Warren Harding, who came in, the President Warren Harding, who came in around 1920. It was a disaster. But then you had a Theodore Roosevelt, okay, who was there before him in 1909. Theodore Roosevelt was fantastic. Okay, so it's a person more than the party platform. I formed the party in 2016, ANRP. I ran on that party. Unfortunately, it's been deregistered. So I have experience in this, and that's why we're here. And I want to also defend my principal, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed, because, listen, I mean, Kano is great, okay? Kano is known as what they call Kano Timbingiwa, which is where everybody goes to. But Lagos is even a bigger thing, Bingiwa. You understand? Listen, we have people coming from the north into Lagos on a daily basis. Maybe 5,000 people coming from the north. Let me say this: even Okada riders, most of them who are from the north. In Lagos alone, there are more than 2 million. So listen, you cannot compare the Kano economy with the Lagos economy. Kwankwaso must show respect to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed in terms of delivering is his promises, and even so also Moskola Abiola, okay, so also Moskola Abiola riding on the PRP Aminu Kano party today, which Aminu Kano was based out there in Kano, and of course got Kaduna in his kitty when he was running. So this is what we're bringing. Tinubu is all about people. It's all about mentorship. It's all about succession planning. You can see what he has done in Lagos with the succession plan they have in Lagos and the long-term planning in Lagos. He's been able to ensure that after him, Fashola, Ambode, Sanwo-Olu, and Lagos has delivered the first metro system in Nigeria as we speak. Lagos has affected the waterways, transportation in Nigeria as we speak. Many of you live in Lagos, including Edgar. Many of you live in Lagos, and what you can say is about how bad Lagos is and all of that. I come to Lagos once in a while. I used to live there until 2001. I come there, I see the only state in Nigeria that is being governed with a tendency towards modernity. Lagos is the only place today in Nigeria where you probably will get a fine for not obeying the traffic light or for overspeeding or something of that sort. Lagos is trending. And this is what we need, and this is what we start. And let me tell you quickly, Edgar, I also will have to leave very shortly because I have another meeting. So in case I may not be able to make another comment, but I'll be hanging in. If I have the opportunity, I would be able to make a comment. Otherwise, this will be my last comment here. Zego wants to make a comment, but I'm Zego's senior in politics. I ran for president.
Hold on.
And you should also understand the reason for someone like me to subject myself to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed, because sometimes you must follow the leader. Thank you very much.
Oh, hold on, Zego, before you say anything, let Osa, please. Osa, what are your thoughts on what Tope just said?
I'll wait for Osa. Wait for Osa.
And Tope, don't run away. Wait. Osa, let's go. Unmute yourself, Osa.
Okay, Tokwe just teared the honest net for me. So I was patiently waiting for him to say all this. And let me give him an answer.
Go ahead.
I hate it. I was born in Kanu. And when I was born in Kanu, I spent the first 21 years of my life in Kanu. And I know how Kanu Commercial Center is then, the center of commerce and industry. And I know when you have things like Reka and stuff like that, anybody that knows Kanu here will tell you what I'm saying. Now, Lagos was built with our commonwealth of the whole country. Lagos was the capital of Nigeria for 70 years. So everything that we had in Nigeria, we put it in Lagos. Same thing that we are now doing in Abuja. So if somebody sits down here and be comparing Lagos and Akure, if all the money that we have in Nigeria was put in Akure, his hometown, it will compete with Lagos. So when you keep talking about Lagos, I get mad. Lagos does not have potable water here. Majority of us on this platform live in Lagos.
Since you want to get mad, I want to tell you that.
Let me talk.
Doctor interrupted you when you were
talking. Lagos.
I did not interrupt you. I did not interrupt you. I went to University of Lagos. When I went to University of Lagos, the governor was not governor of Lagos State. There was still the Ikorodu Road. There was still Kata Bridge. There was still everywhere. There was still Victoria Island. There was still Marina. The bridge in Marina was still there. So what did you do? When you keep talking about Lagos, I'm giving you the basic things of life. Lagos does not have a potable water for anybody here in Lagos. There's no drop of water. There's not one drop of water in Lagos. You're talking about Lagos, you say you want to use Lagos to do. When you keep talking about Lagos, when he came into Nigeria as governor, if the likes of Obasanjo and Atiku did not manage the federal government very well, Lagos will not be prosperous.
After just seize their money in Lagos.
I'll soon be going. Honestly, I need to tell you right now. He's taking out of my time. You should allow me to talk. Please, can you mute? Because he's taking out of my time.
Yeah, I'll give 1 more minute.
Obasanjo and PDP-led government did not fix Nigeria. Lagos should not have been fixed because they propel the economic engine of this country. Money, FDI started pouring into Nigeria. I know what the likes of MTN pay as payee to Lagos State government. I know what the likes of big banks pay as payee to Lagos State government. If federal government decided today, this morning, and say all headquarters, all businesses should locate to Abuja, then I will see the ingenuity that you keep talking about here. Ingenuity that has 20%, a whopping 20% of out-of-school children are in Lagos. A whopping 20%. We saw their governor stopping some children in the streets, carrying something on their head, telling them, asking them political questions. You did not create classrooms for them. You did not create the conducive atmosphere to bring those children out of school. When we have 13 or 18 million Nigerians out of school, you imagine 20% are in Lagos. 20% of those people are in Lagos. Nothing this Lagos State government has done. Lagos State government is just basically collecting tax from the poor. You're talking about a succession plan. What is a succession plan? A succession plan that is not democratic. A succession plan that you handpick people to serve you. It's a succession plan where all the instrument of government reports to you, where you make the people. What kind of succession plan is that? Is that democracy? That's not democracy. That's greediness. That's selfishness. That's what you practice in Lagos. So we live in Lagos. So we can beat our chest and tell you what we are. So you are in Abuja, you fly to a visit, and you stay in the posh hotel in Ibadan to one of these places, and you fly back to Abuja and you continue your life. So we are here, so we know what is it. Go to Interlands in Lagos, go to Okokomaiko, go to Makoko, go to all those places. There are no roads, there are no single one roads. Go to Ikeja, go around Ikeja. Which road will you see there? Surulere was done based on the fact that Femi Gbajabiamila took budget from constituency. I mean, you put budget in different states in Nigeria, took that money and started carrying roads in Surulere. What are you telling me here? You have people, 1 billion, you don't have water for people to drink, and you said you want to, what do you want to come and do in Nigeria? What do you want to come and do?
Was that 2 more minutes?
Yeah, it's not venting,
man. What do you want to do in Nigeria for us? You don't have healthcare. Let me give you this one example.
I don't have much time, but
listen, let me say this to you now. Let me say this to you. I went to Lagos State Government Hospital and had an ear problem for years. And I went there, they told me that they were going to do an operation on my ear and I'm going to be deaf in one ear. And I traveled out of the country because I'm privileged. I traveled out of the country and I went there and I asked the man, this machine that you want to use for my ear, to go to my brain, to fix my ear, how much is it? He says it was $20,000. And I saw Mrs. Tinubu and I told Mrs. Tinubu, I was expecting her to tell me, give me the number of the person, let her to do. I was told that, my brother, thank God that you came here to come and do healthcare. The same your principal, if he has knee injury, he flies to Paris. The same your principal, if he has stomach ulcer, he flies to London.
Principal live permanently.
No. You are talking about Lagos. You keep talking about Lagos. You keep talking about
Lagos is the best model we have for now in this country.
Can you allow me to talk? You were talking since.
Also, you're driving in Lagos. Duke, you are driving in Lagos.
I'm not driving in Lagos. I'm driving in Lagos.
You guys are driving in Lagos.
I'm not driving in Lagos. Lagos State has not done anything for me. Lagos State has not done anything for me.
And Osa. Talk by and Osa. Is this
the things you can vent here? You are driving in
Lagos. Because you came up here and you were telling about a man that will not pass record.
Yes. Please, talk by and Osa. Is this the level of indiscipline you guys will bring to government if you win?
No, I am angry. I am angry because these people are taking us to government. I'm angry because I am angry years of foolishness.
I chew that bait, right? I chew the bait, and it's a cut it.
You are coming to tell us.
This is what makes it exciting. I'll soon be leaving the platform, therefore I wanted to speak, if you want me to answer him and then I go.
Allow me to finish. My point.
Let me respond. Let me respond.
I think you need to let talk respond.
No, I can't allow
Edgar is in charge. Edgar will tell us the next thing to do. Please, somebody will tell us what to do. Yes.
Please.
Of us have 5 minutes to say what
nothing left. Oh, you want to cook? If you want to cook more, cook more.
I beg you guys, we are being recorded.
Bring it out.
We are being
Bring
recorded.
the pasta out.
So we don't all turn to meme. You don't turn all of us to meme on social media. We are being recorded.
Yes. Can I quickly say something, please?
Water.
Okay.
No, you do this one.
This one very quickly. Then Tokbek can reply for Tokbek goes.
Yeah. So I'm saying I mean I like the firepower that's coming from PDP. I like the passion that we're having as everybody on this Zoom call. I'm not Zego. I'm Bangida Song. I'm a member of the President Council. I'm representing Zego. So what I'm saying is, we down and start just like the PDP man said, giving all praises of us to Jagaban. I not take away from Jagaban that he's excellent strategist and people manager. But let us be honest. In the great Jakonde Babaki Kere is the one who brought up Lagos to where Lagos was.
Can you tell people to mute themselves?
To come. Yes. So please, mute yourself. Also mute yourself.
Somebody's cooking pasta there. Tell them to mute themselves.
Yeah, we're hearing somebody cooking pasta.
Comment. What's this now? Comment.
Okay, so I mean the great Baba Jakonde of blessed memory, Baba Kekere, he built Lagos to where it was before Tinubu got there. Go and check his record. I mean statistics, word for word, house for house, project for project. Tinubu does not come close. Even the Lekki Expressway, the single lane before they came to expanding and taking for it was Baba Kekere. The waterways you're talking about, it was Baba Kekere. That was where the Kekere water taxes were happening in Lagos then. So you cannot even begin to ascribe the glory of Lagos to Jagaban. Jagaban is great. He's done a lot of stuff, but you can't do that. You understand? And you're saying PDP is PRP is a leftist party. You don't even know the party you're talking about. And you were here talking about Mr. Peter Obi talking because he's a good orator talking about stuff he doesn't know, and you're repeating it. There's a new
PRP. But a leftist, man. Aminu Kano is a leftist.
From the
except you're saying you departed.
Can you allow me to speak? I didn't interrupt you, doctor.
Go ahead, mate.
I expect more from someone with a PhD to do this. Please.
Go ahead. Don't get angry. Go ahead. Yes. It's all part of the thing.
I'm saying, if you don't know something, don't talk about it. If you want to ask me about PRP, I'll tell you about PRP. From the BOT members, from the BOT members down to the candidates, they're all business people. We are not saying we want to take away everything from the people and give it to the government. We're saying we should have a balance. The Nigerian government that have been put, for instance, there's the Security Council that's supposed to meet. There's particular design for them to meet. They've not been doing it as it should be done. If you follow the systems the way it was created, you will get the results you're looking for. Considering the IGR generated in Lagos, it is the worst performing state in the country.
How come on?
Yes.
Anyway,
okay, for
listen,
instance,
time to speak.
Per square inch, the state with the most hotel is Owerri.
Wow.
In Nigeria. Per square inch. But you have more hotels in Lagos and in Abuja than Owerri. But based on the population and the size of the location, Owerri is per square meter more dense with hotels. So using that same analogy, I'm saying, considering the IGR that Lagos generates compared to other states, Lagos should be New York, for crying out loud. Go and check the statistics of how much the Ethiopians built their own heavy-duty speed rail and how much the Lagosians did what they did, and they're making noise all about social media. And see the bogus.
I wish any other state can show us their own example.
So because other states are yet to come up to where you are, does that mean you should be doing gross misconduct with the funds you have?
So, Edgar, how much time are you giving him and how much time are you giving me? I'm leaving.
Edgar, we need fresh hands. I'm not happy.
We need fresh hands.
He was not ready to call me as Petro.
I decided to do this, to take this approach. Edgar, you always cut me when I'm speaking. So I'm really
you are the one who was cutting Edgar.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah, you can't.
Can I say something here?
Say that.
So
what I'm saying is this. In finishing, what I'm saying is this. We need fresh hands. If we really... Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on, please. You're mentally bullying people.
Listen, I decided to take this approach. Listen, you people don't understand politics. This is part of politics. My approach is what has made this exciting. This is what will make this thing a remarkable.
Like I said, Dr. Tokwe, you cannot assume because that they don't know politics.
No,
I
don't even know your name. The guy that's representing Arozego, we don't even know your name. That's the thing. Why am I talking to someone who I don't know? You came to represent Arozego.
I've never heard of your name.
What's your name?
I've never heard of your name.
Yeah, fine. What's your name? What's your name? What's his name?
My name is Babangida
H.I. Someone we don't know.
Please, can I talk? Can I talk, please? I'm the
Yes,
moderator.
go ahead.
Can I talk? Please. I beg you, can I talk? You know, before saying this thing now, I said that I put some ground rules, 5 minutes per person. Do you get it? So, so talk about tweaking people and interjecting people is not a strategy that's working.
I'm about to leave now, Chief.
Yes. So we accept that, you get. But if you allow people to talk, and then you can now say your own.
You gave that guy more than 5 minutes just now. I timed
No, because you're interjecting.
Not necessarily.
Okay. No, because you're interjecting. Okay, now. So can you?
Who's he?
No, can you respond to them? Can you respond?
First of all, who is he? I want to know what's his name.
I want to ask a question, Edgar, hold on, Edgar, please, let's be serious here. Or else we just end this whole thing. You asked the question, you asked us to do 5 minutes, and everybody, Mr. Tio did his own, Comrade Mohammed did his own, and Babangida representing Mr. Zego did his own, Tokwe did his own. I came in, I punctured Tokwe. Please, can you move to the next topic? Please, Tokwe did not organize this event for us. APC did not organize this forum for us. So
and is their modus operandi to...
Can you please manage this process for us?
Okay, so Tokwe, hold on. Okay, I hear you. Tokwe, let's have your last word, and then you can leave, like say once you leave.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Why should we leave? Why should we hear his last word?
You said
why should I hear his last word? When we want to respond to him, he will not be around to leave now.
He's trying to say something.
He has to be here. No, listen, he has to be here to respect all our...
No way, man. No way. I was here before 5, you get.
You same here. You can't listen to him now.
Nobody will be able to respond to your question.
I cannot agree, Edgar, that he leaves.
He cannot tell someone not to leave. This is not Hotel California. It's not Hotel California. And of course, And of course, Theo is saying something. Theo, unmute yourself, make me hear you, bros. Theo, unmute yourself.
Okay, wait, can I do something?
Sorry,
Please, can I do something?
Edgar,
Theo is saying something.
Tokwe, please, at least for whatever sakes, for what is at stake for all of us, Tokwe, please, I know how many years and where we're both at least coming from.
Yes, bro.
Why we're here today and now.
Yes.
I was at your 5th year. Do you understand me? This is not what we honestly want for Nigeria. That is why we're here. Honor us just till 7 p.m. Don't go yet.
I see Desha, but you know, I need to go. I have another meeting. So, gentlemen, thank you very much. Okay, let me respond to this gentleman that's representing Zego. Right. You know, he actually started with the aggressive stuff, you know, but if you move the tough to aggression, man, you're going to meet me there. Honestly, that's the idea. So anyhow, but what they have said that also I spoke about 20% of out-of-school children being in Lagos. The truth is because Lagos is a bigger team, Bingiwa, than Kano. Everybody goes to Lagos. Everybody goes to make it in Lagos. And it is okay. Lagos is managing it well, the diversity and all of that. That's the reason why that's the case. In terms of the issue of water, perhaps, of course, we need to begin to rethink some of the models. Lagos does not have to evolve the way London has evolved, where people open tap and drink water. Now we're seeing a scenario where many houses are building boreholes and what have you. I want us to just understand that we're still making history in our country. It is not the end of history at all. And we don't have to evolve exactly like America or wherever else. You know, we're still making history. So we probably will follow a different trajectory compared to other people, other states, other city-states, and even other countries. There's very little federal government presence in Lagos. Apart from that moribund secretariat that's sitting somewhere in Ikoyi, the only things that is federal government in Lagos today, okay, NIMASA, even NCAA and all of those guys, they've moved to Abuja, and NCAA fan and all of that. A few buildings. There's nothing that's federal government in Lagos. Of course, even Kano itself was built with federal government money. It can be said, apart from also being a trading port. As Lagos was a trading port, Kano was also a trading hub. Okay, for even pre-colonial Nigeria, it's always been like that. But people come to Abuja, they come to Lagos. People work in civil service, they go back and build houses, and so you can always trace federal government money to Kano, just as you can trace to Lagos. What has happened? But I must say, for anybody that tells me that Lagos is not the model, Lagos is still the model for now. And I think that there's something about this succession plan we talk about. Yes, you may call it undemocratic, quote and unquote, you know, but it's about the vision. If somebody has a vision to say, listen, we need to ensure that, you know, there's some sort of stability, because what usually happens when that succession is broken is a reversal of policies. Somebody will come and reverse all the policies of the past. So I think that as much as you can look at the disadvantages, you can also see the advantages of that succession planning, which is even more critical now that we're trying to transit again. Okay, look at. I would be the first person to admit to you that, you know, Buhari made some serious mistakes in 2015, 2016. The economy went into a recession. I'm more of a Tinubu guy than a Buhari guy, than the APC guy, I must tell you, you know. So he made some mistakes. We don't want to continue to repeat those mistakes. Things are very critical now. We went through a COVID-19 in 2020, the first time ever in the history of humanity when the entire world was locked down. We're not talking about 1920 here. Under a Spanish, we're talking about coronavirus. And in 2020, when globalization was at its peak, and we shut down the entire world, and that's part of what we're seeing now, including all of the borrowing that the government had to do. Not only Nigerian government, every government in the world. So again, I'd say that you guys, a lot of you thriving in Lagos, you are thriving in Lagos because it creates the template where you can, the only place where you can get employment, most likely, more than any other place in Nigeria today is Lagos. Fine, it is politics that we're talking about. So anybody that's smart enough and has inserted himself into the governance of Lagos can as well come and say, listen, this happened because of my influence. That's the truth. You see, in politics, nobody is going to sing your praises except to sing your own praises yourself. And this is what it is. And everybody admits that Asiwaju has a vision. And that vision can be taken. I wish I had more time to talk about the economy and all of those other things. That vision can be taken and taken to a national level, you know, for everybody to benefit. And I think, like, we're talking about experience, exposure. leadership qualities, respect, ability to convey a national consensus and a league consensus in Nigeria. Give it to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed, more than anybody else. Thank you very much.
Okay, NNP.
Yes, sir.
What's your own take on all of this?
My take in all of this, the APC representative person is trying by one way or the other to bully everybody here, and which is not possible. And him saying that Kano or Lagos, I heard him saying that Lagos is more of bigger or larger than Kano. Yes, nobody dispute that. But 90% of the federal government money went to Lagos and make Lagos to be what it is today. But Kano that is saying, there is no federal government money that was pushed like that to Kano, no federal government investment that was pushed to Kano like that. And the people are like my candidate, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. When I say Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, when they are saying as past experience, or they are saying somebody that have wealth experience of how to build or how to bring Nigeria to what it will be today. You can go back and check the track record. You can go back and check the track record. We are not just making noise, because I heard some people when they are talking, they say, "Oh, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso is not even on the presidential result, is not even on this." What that man have done to Kano and Nigeria at large, what he has done to Kano and Nigeria at large, if someone can build a Kano state, a state that is full of Almajiri, like that, with that kind of amount of population, and bring it to where it is before their own government came to spoil whatever they spoil, and there's nothing to write home about there. The same man will believe that he can come and face this country with his past track record. He has the experience. He has been tested and trusted from being a deputy speaker of the House, being a senator, a 2-time governor, and a first civilian to be a minister of defense. So if he doesn't have all it takes, you can go and check his record. So to me, I don't have much take on the dragging back and forth of it.
Okay, brilliant. Quickly, I think the editor-in-chief of News Agents Nigeria wants to ask a question. Mr. Ephraim, commenting, can people start asking questions now?
Okay, yes, people can. We can take the questions now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Mr. Ephraim, News Agents of Nigeria, I want to ask a question. I saw your hand up. Agada also wants to ask a question. Okay, Mr. Ephraim, unmute yourself. You have been permitted. Mr. Ephraim, you have been permitted. Okay, Taiwo Motosho.
Okay, good. Can I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Ephraim, News Agency of Nigeria.
Yes, I don't know whether the APC man is still there really, because he's the one I wanted to know some clarification from.
He's here. Talk about.
Oh, good. Now, what he says appears to contradict what his principal Tinubu has been discussing in the course of the campaign. For instance, his principal says he's going to continue with the policies of Buhari, President Buhari, and actually improve on them. But we have Dr. Tokes saying that Nigeria is at crossroads, meaning that the APC are taking Nigeria to a particular crossroad. Now, inside this, we are at this particular point where we are talking about crossroad, that means there's total confusion and you are not too sure of where to go to. It actually means that it isn't contradicting what his principal is saying. He says, I want to continue what Buhari has done. And Tokwe says Nigeria has crossroad. It actually means that they don't seem to be sure of how to draw the line between the APC government and the APC, the players in that particular government. And it talks about a lot of things that are actually bad. Of course, security is bad. The economy is not good. We have a lot of money, but nobody's managing it well. But it's still the same government that Tinubu says he wants to continue. So I think I want a clarification. Can we draw the line between Buhari, the president, under the platform of APC, and then the party itself, and then you also have Tinubu, who also wants to continue using the same umbrella or the same platform, if you like, and then he says he wants to distance himself from the person that's going to precede his government, assuming he's elected. So I think we actually need to draw the line. I think it's actually contradicting what his principal is saying. He praises Buhari and says we want to continue. Now Tekwe says we are at crossroads. That means that somebody must have dragged Nigeria one point to the other, and then we have reached a crossroad where we are actually confused. Isn't he contradicting what the Tinubu man is saying? And then for the PRP man, let me ask something for the PRP man, sir. Now, it's a bill on the ideology of the Talakawa as normally sold to practical all of us by Aminu Kano. I really want to know whether there are just real connection between Kola Abiola, who was obviously born with a silver spoon. I think not even silver. I would say golden spoon, really. How he has really connected with the poor. Because that seems to be, Aminu Kano's philosophy. Gather the poor, insist we have to work together, insist we have to move it together, insist we have to suffer together and actually succeed together. Is Kola Abiola really connected to the average poor person in Nigeria? Thank you so much.
Okay. Tokwe, you answer these questions, and then after that, we'll take some more questions from people. But Tokwe, please, 5 minutes.
I think basically, well, I think we all have to just get a little bit more matured in terms of understanding the challenges of our times. And nobody is going to solve the problems of Nigeria apart from us. Oftentimes, I think about the new phenomenon, which is another set of jackpot. There were some people who jackpot in the 80s, the first set of jackpot people in the 80s. That went on into the 2000s, and then we're seeing another set of jackpots now. And oftentimes, when people jackpot from Nigeria to all these other countries abroad, I wonder what they're thinking about, because indeed, you're saying, you get there and you start talking about how your country is this and that, but you forget that when your country is bad, there's a challenge to you to make it better. Okay, so this is what it is. So in terms of, we're still writing history, I say, in terms of what the gentleman from Nana said, what do you expect Tinubu to say? You want Tinubu to run on the same party and come and tell you how Buhari was bad. Whereas I particularly am not particularly a fan of Muhammadu Buhari. I think he could have done a lot better. But I also understand especially the problem of COVID. And a lot of governments had to fall because of COVID and the management of it. In fact, Nigeria is one of the few lucky places where, of course, we have a baggage of debt as a result of COVID, but we're still standing. In fact, of course, remember that during COVID, Bill Gates, his wife, and all of those people, they said that we would have people dying on the streets without even where to bury them, and so on. And we managed to pull through that. Any government that pulls through that has achieved something. So you don't expect that Tinubu will come and start criticizing, but I can, because I'm just a nobody. I'm not running for any election. I'm only supporting Tinubu. I can come and tell you that, hey, I didn't like one or two things that Buhari did. So Tinubu would actually say that, look, when I come, I'm going to continue with the policies of Buhari, but like you said, I'm going to do a few things better, okay? And which is exactly what he has said. I would readily admit to you, and I write every week, I keep columns in many, couple of newspapers and so on. So I would tell you every week where I think that they could have done something better for the purpose of any government that will come after now to learn. Many people sit on their oars and believe and posture as if running a government is easy. It is never easy. That is all I want to say on that. So I think that we're still on the right track in this regard, and I think Tinubu is the person. Thank you very much.
Can you meet people? PRP, Nan asked the question. I don't know if you heard. And then we'll take questions from Dada and Motolota. We'll be running up now, not 2 hours. I'm running up now. Then after these two questions, we'll now take one last comment from each of the representatives of the parties. Can you block people?
I'd like to say something. I'd like to say something that Dr. Tope just said now. When I say those things about those things, and I laugh. You know why I laugh?
Why?
Yes, we know the COVID-19 that came in. The world was shut down. Everything that happened, blah blah blah. At least we knew that the government, APC government, was incompetent. They didn't even have any plan for healthcare sector. So we can see during that time. But people tend to forget. People tend to forget one thing here, that in 2008 to 2009 and 10 and 11, there was an economic global meltdown. There was a great recession that happened. We forget those things very easily. But in Nigeria here, most of what we do, we do not even feel it. Because why? I remember Dr. Chukwuma Soludo, Professor Chukwuma Soludo saying that statement there, that the PDP government has invested so much, they are saved for the rainy day, that when that recession came in, Edgar, you are an investment banker, if you remember that period, we had a smooth sailing. We didn't feel it. We're not complaining about loss of jobs. People were still working. So when you have an incompetent government and you want us to reinforce failure, it's a non-starter for me. APC has failed Nigeria in all ramifications of governance.
Okay, that's it. Mr. Taiwo, can we hear you?
Yes, can you hear me?
Quickly, 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I would like to ask the representative of APC this very good question, that if eventually Mr. Dino Melaye, Senator Dino Melaye, eventually turned his back against Atiku and he started supporting your principal. I'm referring to Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he started saying good things about him. All the bad things he has said before, he started turning them upside down. So what will be your response? What will you say? What will be your opinion? You're asked. And to PRP, representative of PRP. Yes, actually, I don't know much about PRP party, but you made mention some, I think, two able-bodied men that have won under PRP and the good things they did when they were in government. So I will ask you, sir, does that mean that because they did well and people appreciated their efforts when they were in government, do you think that that will make your principal to do well? Because to me, I believe party is just an umbrella that they just have to contest under it to become whatever they want to become. So I think party have nothing to do with the principal. Likewise, the APC and PDP. We can see that most of the people that are in PDP are once being APC, likewise APC and PDP. So they were moving around. Even Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we understand the fact that actually might not be switching party, but at least the party keep changing name till date. So what can you say about that? And to the PDP representative.
PDP representative, go ahead.
Okay, sir. To the PDP representative, I will ask you, you mentioned, you said that your principal want to sell off some things or privatize them. But if I may ask you, of which will be the benefit to the Nigerians, especially to the young ones? Because we understand the fact that when you privatize a business, the person have to run the business in such a way that we favor and bring more revenue for him, because you can't be running business at loss. So what if eventually your principal privatize it? Like the popular one we know as NEPA. Today we have bad electricity, we have eco electricity, we have Ikeja electricity, and there have been a lot of, because I do go to NEC, Twitter handle, I can see how people were complaining. But I think government can't do much, especially people that need prepaid meter. But government can't really go in deep to them because they've already privatized it. And they have to run the business in such a way that we favor them. So if eventually your principal becomes the next president of Nigeria and he embark on those projects, so what is his plan? And to all the candidate representatives, what are the plans? Because some of them, they came up with manifesto, truly. But I will tell you, manifesto is just like a football pitch when the coach bring the, what do they call it? The wing that each player will play. When the match starts, we see that the wing might not really work. So I think the manifesto, all of them have a good manifestos to be sincere. But what is the plan? What are the strategies, especially when it comes to economies and security? And I believe when our security is good or gets better, economy will do, because I think security is part of the reason why our economy is down. And please, please, sir, let me ask this, because I think this is very, very important, sir. The last question, to all the candidates representatives, none of them have talked about our border. You know, the current president shut down our borders. And I believe it's one of the reasons that make commodity price, that make it to go up. Because at least when there is competition, you bring your own goods from outside, you bring your own goods from outside, things will get better, there will be competitions. But presently now, okay, imagine rice. Let's assume that they can bring rice from Cotonou, another person can bring from Thailand, and bring another person can bring from China. There will be competition in price. Now, even our own local rice, we can't afford it. So please, is there any president, because I don't know, is there any president that is there any of you that is principal, have in mind or have said something about opening back our border?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Let's do this way. We'll take one last question from Agada, and then after that last question, every member here will take 5 minutes to do a closing submission, trying to answer all of these questions that they've asked, and then we just go 2 hours plus now. So Agada, please, very quickly, your question.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Edgar, and everybody present in the house. I can see that Dr. Tokwe is on mute. I hope he listens to me. And first of all, Sir Edgar, all fans here that I see, they are not ordinary Nigerians. I think they are above average Nigerians. They are elite. And okay, I will accept that and let's move on. So I listened to the argument put forward by the APC representative, and it baffles me a lot. I can see whenever he speaks, I feel arrogance and a kind of a feeling of entitlement coming from what he's saying, that they own Lagos, that he owns Lagos, and that because so person have done AYZ, he deserves to be the president of Lagos, of Nigeria. Lagos, being a governor of Lagos is different from being the president of Nigeria. Lagos is a state of one of the 36 states that make Nigeria. So you must have the spread to reach out. And he talks so many things that are not realistic. In fact, he has the most difficult job to do in convincing Nigeria on how to vote for his candidacy. The person here with the easiest job is the Labour Party, and unfortunately has not lived up to that job. The next easiest job is the PDP guy to deliver on what to do, how to get the people to vote for his candidate. The APC guy should be apologizing to Nigeria and maybe pleading to seek their vote, and not to come to speak to us with full of arrogance. He talks about some things that I'm not even too sure. He says he's a doctor. I'm not even too sure he's very well aware of what he was saying. Lagos has been the federal capital city of Nigeria for over 70 years. Some of us, our great-grandparents work here. They work their life all through here. He talks about that Lagos, that federal president, what is federal president in Lagos? That there is no federal president in Nigeria. And I will tell him that until recently, all the federal parastatals and federal instrumentality of governance, bureaucracy, and the rest are in Lagos. And at present, I can tell him little, the few that is left. You still have the NIMASA, like you mentioned. You have the MPA, the ports.
which is #1 engine room of any developing country. You have the Murtala International Airport, which is the busiest airport, international airport in Nigeria. About 95% of all the major roads in Lagos are federally owned. The DPR, until recently, they just moved to Abuja. If not, they are in Lagos on Kofa Abayomide. Then you talk about many things. Can he send any of his family member to a pub built by the Lagos state government? Can any of his family member attend any sick Medicare in a public-owned hospital? What of the schools? Where is the water? Growing up, I know where we open the tap in Kaduna. We open tap and drink water straight from there. Can we are in a new age now. Can we talk of that now? No, it's not possible. Then aside from that, Lagos has been round up. Okay. Lagos, all the banks in Nigeria, for instance, their headquarters is here. All the multinationals, the blue chip companies are in Lagos. So Lagos deserves a special status. Lagos is other states are like a baby to Lagos, considering what Lagos generates, what Lagos have, and yet the most indebted state in Nigeria. So what have they done? They've done nothing to for someone to come and take claim that he was successful in Lagos, and by that extension should become the president of Nigeria. No, we should go beyond that. We have tried the PDP, we have tried other parties. Let's try.
Okay, thank you. Wait, hold on, please. Every participant, every panelist will talk for 5 minutes now. But let's hear from Babangida Dasong before we do that roundup, please. Babangida Dasong. So Theo, get ready to speak after him. After Theo, Comrade Mohammed. After Comrade Mohammed, the PRP. After the PRP guy, Tope Paswa, and then Osa will close it. Oh yeah, Babangida Dasong. Let's hear you.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Thank you once again. My man, Dr. Tope, said I was coming with too much flame, so let me come on very civilly to him.
Are you the PRP guy?
Yes, my name is Babangida. I'm the PRP.
Okay, it's okay. Don't talk yet. Calm down.
Oh, okay.
I thought you just so. Okay, so we've had a very interesting session. There's at some point we lost it and then we came back. You get it? And then for me, I don't know about other person personally. I think the issues are coming out now. You understand? Everybody, where each party stands is becoming very clear to the ordinary man. So before I round up, let's have all the panelists speak for 5 minutes each. Try to touch on the questions asked by Agada or Motosho. You get me? And in this thing, and then just give us like a closing remark for 5 minutes. So this is 1912. Theo, up to you. You close at 1917. Let's go.
Good evening again. To the gentleman who spoke earlier, thank you for the heads up. I can hear the passion in your voice. And again, one of the biggest challenge I had, when we started this was also not coming out to sound like an elite. Please don't let the BMW cap and the BMW shirt fool you. I attended Lady Lark Primary School. It's still there at Bariga. I attended the CMS Grammar School. Then I went on to the Ondo State University, and I've attended some other Lagos Business School and external courses abroad and all that. But hey, what I will tell you is that everybody here, I built up my businesses from 2001. My sweat. I've never done government jobs. My sweat, not from anybody. So I will not categorize myself as an elite. My interest here today is to be a voice for the average Nigerian, to say, you've been on this conversation and you can see. Do not look at the people. Tokwe is a very good friend. We attended the same university, full front of, student protests and all that. Yes, he has his choices to support Mr. Shuaju because that is his choice. Deep in his heart, Tokwe is an obedient. The same thing goes for Osam. And I speak boldly to say so. Why that? Because I know the heart of this gentleman is to see a better Nigeria. And that is where I'm going to go with this. So speaking for the Labour Party, for Mr. Obi, it is about saying that the average Nigerian needs to search their hearts. Haven't listened to the back and forth, the darts between Mr. Asiwaju and Mr. Atiku, knowing their pedigree, knowing their antecedents. Is that the kind of president you want? Right now, at this point in Nigeria, can you say, I want my children to become like that man? I have nothing personal against these people. But right now, at 55 years old, these people do not represent the kind of people that I want to be the president of Nigeria. I will stake my guts, my chances, everything that I have on the Mr. Obi. Let that be our choice. Let it be my choice to say that I chose differently. I did not choose the establishment. I did not choose succession planning, or somebody saying they own Lagos, or the other man coming all the way from Dubai every couple of years to come and fight for presidency. Mr. Obi could be what they call it? They called him a warehouse president, or somebody, a warehouse president. In fact, whatever you want to call him, he's different. A town hall, different. That is where we got to go with this. Let's take a chance on ourselves as Nigerians to say that, you know what, we did this our way. We decided to be different. Mr. Obi may not have all the answers. He may not be able to, recite oratory and tell you about the facts and figures. Mr. Tokwe can do a better job with that. That is his pedigree. He's a PhD holder. It's better than me in those fake facts and figures. But right now, it is about the average Nigerian looking into his heart and say, how do I want my tomorrow to be? What are the chances that I took on myself? What are the chances I took on my country? Do I want a better nation? Right now, Mr. Obi represents what I call a representative Nigeria. Everybody will be part of that business, not because they've known somebody, or they're Yoruba, or they're Igbo, or they're Hausa. It will be because we are Nigerians. I've gone everywhere in this country. I've seen the faces of people. We all grew up in this country. Why are we like this? My children who have graduated now, I cannot allow them to come back to serve here because I just will not be able to sleep. So there's so many things at stake. I served, in Kano. I went everywhere, drove everywhere. I used to, to go to the this fishing festival that they used to have up north. I used to attend everyone every year. I would not dare that now. So what are we talking about? Let's take a chance on Mr. B. Right now, that is what we must do. And I really hope at the end of the day, we'll go to bed. Let's do right by ourselves. Let's know that we did this our way. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Mr. Agada. Thank you, Mr. Joseph. Thank you, Tokwe. And thank you, Osam, for taking
that was a very hot and powerful closing remarks. You bless you, just wake up, too. Okay, NNPP, 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you once again, everyone. I just have to say a little thing here. If you can look at everybody here, I'm the youngest here, and God will not allow me to support what is not going to be good for me and for my children unborn. I want to talk about the average Nigeria. I want to talk about with the average Nigeria here and the reasons why I'm supporting my principal. If you can, let's say almost all of the elites are against my principal just because it's close to the poor masses. And everything that he's doing, he has the best of poor masses at heart. And secondly, Senator Rabiu Musa.
Hello?
I think his audio went mute. Maybe send him a message or something.
Oh. We can't hear him again. Come Mohammed. Can you hear us?
I'm not mute.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not mute.
Right, okay. You have 2 more minutes.
No. I just 1 minute, just 1 minute now. I remaining 4 more minutes.
Okay, I have 4 more minutes.
Okay. Like my principal, like I was saying, the plan that Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso has for the country is quite different from all the plan that all the presidential candidates have for the country. And we
know what you were saying at first.
But I'm audible enough. Can you hear me?
Go ahead, I hear you. Go ahead, I'm hearing you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Like I said, the plan that my principal, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, has for the poor masses, for the average Nigerians, is a plan that is not all about even manifestos or about this, about that. But when you look at someone's track record, like him, and you look at his track record of what he has done and how he has improved education in the life of average Nigeria, someone that will single-handedly sponsor 3,000 people out of the country for them to get the best of education and come back and represent their country. Not the 3,000 people. We are not talking about children of elites. We are talking about children of poor people, like all these Meshai, all these shoemaker, and people that cannot even meet up, that not even dream of going to outside country or going to the best school of their life. He gives them the best. And with his plan he has for Nigeria, for the education factor, to make the less privileged, which is the average Nigeria, to make them to go to free education from their primary school and secondary school. I think a man like that should be given a chance to rule this country. And it has all it takes to rule the country. Being a youth, not only a youth, a president that is controlling group of people, youth of like minds that want a better Nigeria. We are all in this cause just because we want to see our country being Nigeria as it is before, not Nigeria as it is when APC come to government. Because APC has failed us. And seeing anybody even talking about APC or coming to defend APC, to me, well, personal interest can make us to go out of our will and say some things. But me personally, I'm not talking because I'm gaining anything from Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. No, I'm not. I just love the man because of the ideology he has for the poor masses, because of his plan for the average Nigeria and what he wants Nigeria to become, even in terms of security, education. If we can get these two right, our economy will be stable. We just need a system that will work. And if we can get that system done, Nigeria will take its shape. Even you are bad and you become a president and the system is good, you cannot spoil that system because the system is above you. And the man has done it in Kano. He set a system that the system has been working down to the time that Governor Ganduje become a governor and everything went down. But still yet, go to Kano today, go to Jigawa, go to Katsina, even Kaduna, you see the light that is touched. You see that every average Nigeria, if it's coming, they all want him because it's not even that he's giving you money. Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, since I have been with him or since I have been working with him and I choose him to be my presidential candidate, I have not seen a big man like him that will always want to teach you how to catch fish. He's not the type that says, okay, come and take. No, he will teach you how to get this done and how to get this done. And that is the kind of man we need that. And again, he's a man that from his agenda, there's youth inclusiveness. And that admires me a lot. Youth inclusiveness. With the youth, we are suffering. A lot of us are suffering. Graduate without no job, everything, nothing for us. And look at what this man has for us, youth inclusiveness. He has done, and he has proved me wrong, even from the time of the TNM, which is the national movement. He said, comrade, I'll make youth inclusive even in the party. So you people will be in the system and get the system right. Because if you are not in the system, you cannot make a decision for that system. But thank you. For a system, you have to be inside the system. And this man bring us into a party, give us a better position that will have a say in the party. And with that, that is youth inclusiveness for me. And even if he becomes the president, you see youth like us at the age of 30, at the age of 35, you see ministers all around. So with this, I'm pleading to the average Nigeria that we should drop sentiment, we should drop religion. We should not say, because Southeast has been marginalized, they have not done president. No. We should not say North has been doing president. No. All we need now is someone that can get it right. And the person that can get it right from all research, if we can tell ourselves the truth and drop sentiment, is Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso.
Thank you. God bless you. Babangida, quickly, 5 minutes. Thank you. Babangida, 5 minutes, quickly. Babangida, PRP. It's gone. Tope Fashoa, APC. Tope Fashoa. Okay, Babangida is here. Babangida, quick, 5 minutes. Babangida, 5 minutes.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you so much for this initiative. It's an amazing initiative to be able to meet Nigerians across board. You know, in closing, when my friend Dr. Tope was saying a lot of things about Aminu Kano being from an aristocratic family and all that, Aminu Kano was from an aristocratic family, but that didn't stop him from being the champion of the masses. General Shehu Yar'Adua was a blue blood, but he never joined the conservative, you know, elite political class. He was in UNPF and then SDP. It's all about being a progressive. And all these people are the forerunners of the current PRP. Even if you check our BOT members today, it tells you that the PRP is an ideology-based party, which is what politics is supposed to be. When I hear people say, no, it's not about the party, it's about the candidate. Politics really is supposed to be about the party, because the party has an ideology. Then everybody who believes in that ideology stays on that platform. Now all we have are political prostitutes changing party from one party to another so that they can usurp power and use it for personal gain. That is what the PRP is here to change, to remind Nigerians that no, be on a platform that you believe in the ideology. And what is that ideology? I started this webinar with that ideology. I said, it's the people first. If your motive for every of your policy has the people at the core of it, it will be smooth sailing. For education, PRP has the history of, during Aminu Kano's time, achieving girl child education in the North. The same PRP is the one who is saying, when we come into power, education will be our priority, and the people will be the core of it. Now, it is the common man that is the bane of insecurity in the North. The ones who are jobless, the ones who are available to be carried into banditry and Boko Haramism. Now, if you do policies with these people at the core of your policies, then you will be able to solve more than half of the security challenges, because if they have jobs to do, if they have a family to take care of, and they have the means to do so, they won't look into crime. So this is why we're saying it is party first. Look at the PRP. We are the youngest candidates and ESCO across board all over Nigeria. In all the over 25 states, we are fielding candidates. So if you're talking about youth inclusiveness, we're already practicing it. And when we are trying to say you want to change something, you don't bring the same crop of politicians to change it. There's a saying that says, if you do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, it's a recipe for madness. So if we're saying we want to see through change, let's not bring politicians who have been recycled from one party to another. Even the people in Labour Party today are coming from either PDP, APC, AMPP, and all the rest. Kola Abiola is not coming from PDP or APC. Mr. Harold Zigo is not coming from PDP or APC. These are people with the passion the common Nigerians have had. And they've been on a party, on a platform that Mr. Zigo has been there all through, the past decade. And he's saying, hey, this is an ideology we believe in. And that's something you can trust. Because when the next guy comes, it's the same ideology. Not someone who comes and promises you 10% or promises you heaven and earth, $1 to £1. And today we are seeing the reality, and they do not even have shame. They are still campaigning for Nigeria. Is it not preposterous that at the time of election, there is no fuel, there is queue, and the ruling party is still campaigning instead of apologizing? So in closing, our appeal to Nigerians, Google PRP, check our website, Google Kola Abiola, Google Harold Zigo, do your research. These are the people who will bring that change you need. These are the people who will reset and restart the new Nigeria of our dreams. Thank you very much.
God bless you. Okay, so talk about signing out. Osa, 5 minutes. Unmute. Unmute.
The People's Democratic Party, the PDP, has built a new Nigeria for us. PDP may have one or two faults in time past, but the best of democracy since 1999 happened under the PDP. And those first 8 years were a golden era for us, especially coming from the hard work, sleeves that we rolled our hands, we rolled our sleeves to put all our hands in the plow. And we got Nigeria working again. We got the big, massive machine, which is Nigeria, to start grinding again, start moving, right when it was static. So PDP is a truly national party. We are not a provincial party. We are a party that belongs to all Nigerians. The umbrella is a big umbrella. Every part of Nigeria has tasted, at least have opportunity to taste power by PDP. We run an when we came in 1999, I remember President Obasanjo, he brought people from APP then, he brought people from AD to come and join to move Nigeria forward. And our principal, by God's grace, the next president of Nigeria has stated that he's going to bring in Nigerians from all walks of life, from all creed, from all identity, to come, whether you are PRP, whether you are anything, to come and let's move the country forward. It is Nigeria first for us, not political party. We have done it. We have created institutions. Our records are all over the country. Institutions that will be created, bills that we sent, that are working now. We know what we have. We sent the NCC bill, it is there. The EFCC that is fighting corruption, we will put it in place. We fought corruption. We are the one that fought corruption more than any other persons in Nigeria. Our governors in our political parties were impeached and they were sent to jail. Nobody has done that. We did it. A sitting minister was sacked, who was a personal friend of the president. An IG was removed on corruption and sent to jail. We have done that. We did not say we are going to wipe out corruption. Even in the United States of America, there's still corruption. But we run a government of national unity. The cry that is division that the APC has cost Nigeria was not there during the PDP time. I'm not saying anybody saying that we want to go out, we want to leave Nigeria, yes, we had some pocket of agitation, but not like that. The positions of governance were truly distributed across everybody. The same Alhaji Atiku Abubakar will do, Waziri Adama will still do again. We have done it before, we're doing it again. We work together with international multilateral agencies, but majority for debts that we did not take by ourselves. We paid those debts and we started on a clean slate. And we left billions of naira, billions. This was a government that came in at almost zero digits for growth. We moved growth to the highest. We saved. We came in, we had debts of over 40 billion, which we cleared. We came in, we made just under 2.8 billion in the national treasury on the day Obasanjo came to power, May 29, 1999. We had just less than under 2.8 billion. When we were leaving, we had an excess of over $65 billion. And people will sit down here and tell me PDP did not work. Let's fear God. Let's fear God compared to what we're having now. And somebody talked about privatization of resources. We used to have Nitel, who had the monopoly, but we opened it up. We opened up the system. The South Africans came in with money. The indigenous Nigerians came in with their own investments. And now we have 4 big national, telecom companies. Every one of us, every one of us have a mobile phone, we have a laptop, we have internet, broadband is being penetrated. It's not the journey to rebuild Nigeria is not a day's job, but I can tell you that PDP started well and moved Nigeria from point 0 to point 10. The unfortunate party, the unfortunate people who decided to take us backwards again, back to the Stone Age. We have, by now, the country should have moved on faster. We have moribund industries in Nigeria, which is under government. They are connected to subvention every year. When you see the current expenditure, you see a government budget of 17 trillion, and they tell you the current expenditure is about 12 million. Then the whole Nigeria will now share 5 trillion on infrastructure development and so on. Whereas 17 trillion or so, 60 or 70% goes to public servants. We are saying that enough is enough, so that we can free resources. At NNPC, Kaduna collect billions of naira, spend billions of naira. They do photocopies, they do all sorts of things. They even go on international courses. They have extra code without a barrel of fuel being refined in that same places. We sold these refineries to Dangote. Now we are paying Dangote to build this refinery. We are giving Dangote our hard-earned dollars that we have to give to Dangote to build the same refinery. So you can imagine if those refineries were still working. And people are saying we should not sell it. Which government in the world, apart from even Aramco, is privatized? What my principal said in 2019, that is going to privatize NNPC. Even if they're going to kill him, he's going to still do it. But now the same NNPC has been privatized. Now NNPC is not a limited, it's no more a corporation, not a federal corporation, it's not a limited company. We have to follow the global trend. Let's not deceive ourselves. Atiku Abubakar is the only one, please can allow me talk. Atiku Abubakar is the only one that has the experience. And that has the experience to rule this country. We're not talking about ruling a state government. We're talking about ruling the homologous machine called Nigeria. He has diversity, he has friends across the Niger. He's the only one. People cannot wake up hold on, let me give 1 minute. You cannot wake up from a slumber to come and say you want to rule Nigeria. Nigeria is a very delicate country. I will need people with experience. We need the man that knows the way. We need the man that has experience. We need the man that was part of a team that did wonders. That's the kind of person we need. We don't need gangsters. We don't need selfish people. We don't need people who don't have any experience to rule country. You see, Nigeria is not a one-man business. So people, some of them don't understand those things. So PDP has done it again, has done it before. We rescue Nigerians from the hands of the military when we came back. We're still going to rescue Nigeria from the hands of APC for the self-inflicted injuries that APC has hammered on us, for the impoverishment that APC has given to us. They have weaponized poverty. They have made us the capital. They have made us the laughingstock in Africa. We are not even number one in Africa. Now, Nigeria cannot even sneeze for the rest of Africa to list it. I remember during the years of PDP, we were detecting the pace. The Western powers call us for meetings. Then we were in the front. We moved down. Africa was behind us. But now even small Rwanda, we are behind Rwanda now. This is where the APC government has led us to. By God's grace, I beg on Nigerians that PDP is the truly national party, that all Nigerians are inside. We are not a sectional party. We are a truly national party. We are not a party that belongs to one state or two states. We are a truly grounded national party with the interests of the people at heart. And also, let me make some clarification. When I keep hearing power to change that, it's not stated in our constitution for power to be rotated between one region and the other. And in PDP, within 16 years, 16 unbroken years, out of the 16 unbroken years, 13 and 2 months was held by the Southern candidacy. So PDP is different. So if APC is doing North and South, that is their own. But in PDP, we are the first people to say power should move and power should come back in PDP. And we did it. President Obasanjo was there for 8 years and he moved power back.
Okay. It's okay. Thank you so much. So let me use the point to thank everybody for attending. Thanking the PDP representative, Osa Owemu, thanking the APC man, Tokbe, thanking the PRP person. I want to especially thank the presidential candidates for PRP, Mr. Kola Abiola, who personally got involved and made sure that his member of the PCC attends this meeting. That shows you the importance of which has taken this thing. I also want to thank my brother from NNPP. We just met during the week. And I hope you invite me to Kogi one of these days. Let's come and enjoy Lokoja. I also thank my brother Theo, who on his way to go ask his daughter, I'm sure he must have branch one filling station to do the meeting. I'm grateful. And Babangida, you made a very, very strong presentation of your party position and stuff. Well impressed. And feedback I'm getting.
Thank you very much. I would like to thank everybody too. Also, I just want to remind you that you're here to lead, not to rule. So thank you very much for your time. It was really insightful being here.
Thank you. So guys, so we are going out February 5th or 28th, I'm not sure again. Let's vote our country. Let's vote for who we think is best. Because we are facing 3 trillion naira in debt. We are facing over 20 million unemployed people, youths. We are facing infrastructural decay. Building trains that cost of that train is much more than it's times 4 of what they are seeing in other countries. We are facing serious insecurity. People are getting killed on a daily basis. The chance to please go out and vote their conscience. And as somebody has said here, vote a candidate you want your children to be like when you grow out of all of this kind. Thank you all, and God bless. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
God bless you. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Labour Party representative.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You go thank me.
My dear, Waziri Adamawa.
Yes, so
President of Nigeria.
Waziri Adamawa.
Incoming president of Nigeria.
Go ahead, your party.
It's not about the party, it belongs to the people. That's why it calls the People's
we are all Nigerian
Party. It belongs to the people, not to some gangsters.
One thing you cannot deny is that we all love this nation. I know, sir. We all love this nation. And we don't want it to be the dogs.
Yes, that is
true. We won't give our country to gangsters and drug stars.
But I'm surprised. I'm surprised for some people still campaigning and be able to defend for a man that is not even able to hold the mic.
No. You see, it's the poverty of the belly that's causing all those things.
That is stomach infrastructure.
Poverty of the belly. When you open your eyes and see something and you say like Theo said, it's poverty that causes those things.
Yes.
So when some of us it's because of we are hungry. We decided to go for it. People keep talking about Lagos. I keep telling this thing. If federal government was in my state, in my Benin city, and they put all these bridges, put ports. Lagos has 3 ports. Theo knows those things. Theo fabricate. So you understand what I'm saying. The road to the biggest port in Nigeria and West Africa is on where his business is. This man here, Sanfield Ijora. It's Sanfield Ijora. Him, yes, Mr. Theo here. He has videos, he has evidence. He brings trailer load of gravel to come and put on the road. And we have a government that collects tax from him. Somebody that has a business that have over 100 employees that pay to go to government, but they cannot benefit one single. They can't even benefit hospital in there. You can't even do policy, for example, healthcare. Okay, let's say, we cannot do everything. Let's do a health insurance. Lagos State health insurance, where people can go, the market people can be paying 500 naira every week. At least they can have 100,000 naira worth of this to do, so they can go to any accredited clinic with the signature of Lagos healthcare scheme. They can go there and they can get free healthcare. They can get healthcare. At least let them pay. Let's say the government is okay. We're only doing from 0 to 2 years. Then anybody is above 65 to 100, the government will take care of you. But between them, there's a subsidy that you're doing. So pay those money and do. So I'm not saying that government can provide good free healthcare for people. It's impossible to ask. But it's initiative. So it's initiative. When you don't have that initiative, you don't do those things. All you do, everything is about how you will steal the money, how you will get this money from the people. That is all what you do. Babangida Konde was governor for 3 years, 4 years, and 3 months. What he did is still landmark in Lagos. The university was created. The Polytechnic was created. The what's his name? College of Education was created. The secretariat that they are using, it was built. Roads were open. Places where villages were opened up. And you get 51 billion, which I know is a lie. They are not getting 51 billion. They are getting like 100 billion.
Exactly.
This money is being siphoned. This is the same people that refuse to sign the Freedom of Information Act. You cannot get the state is run in an opaque way. You cannot get any information from Lagos State. You cannot get any single information from Lagos State government. Go and ask them. Even tenders work, you cannot see it. That's why you want to come and take Nigeria from our Commonwealth. You want to turn it to a private empire. It's not possible. A man that you cannot trace his antecedents. A man that you cannot say, I went to this primary school. A man that say, I went to this secondary school. You can't tell us that during his time, somebody said during his time, he was coach in the house. He said, oh, my father, my brother. That he came to family. And when I was close to 80 years, other went to school. Western region. The Western region had the best. He claimed he was born in 1952. Awolowo came into power, I think about 56 or so. So that definitely there was free education. So he must be a beneficiary of those free education. But yes, he went to school. I cannot say he didn't go to school, but he didn't go to school with the right name. So he does not have any moral character to come and lead our nation at this particular time. And that is his own personal one. Then for APC to take us to this level of depth of they took us to the valley of poverty. We cannot vote that party back in power. They have impoverished this country. They have destroyed this country. Yeah, and he was sitting down there, he kept quiet. He didn't say any word. He didn't say anything to his party. Now, the same way he's shouting about the party, shouting about the establishment, he couldn't shout it for the masses of Nigeria, but he's shouting it because of his own personal self, because he's a very greedy man, he's a very selfish man, he's a very wicked man. He's shouting that they are frustrating his candidacy, but when he saw us, when he saw people, when he saw millions of Nigerians going through poverty, he did not shout. When the headsmen were moving around, ravaging, he did not shout. When Buhari was leading the economy to the door drop, he did not shout. He did not even go down and say, yes, Mr. Excellency, we need to. At least there's a way you can talk to your president. You did not shout. You were just playing along because you feel that by playing along, the power will be handed over to you. No. Nigeria should go to the polls. Nigeria should go to the polls and reject that man. An evil man. And he wants to run an evil government. That's it.
The worst part of say you want to even continue for when Buhari is gone.
Where is going to stop? To take us to more debts? He's shouting about, Tokpe comes here and telling us about 10% GDP growth when you are in debt. Tokpe does not run a good business now. He sit down somewhere and write papers. Tio knows the business now. If you are in debt with that Tio or that trillion, how can you survive and say you start growing? How can you survive when the global powers are doing 2% growth? America, they are struggling to do 2% growth. Somebody sat down somewhere and telling us they want to do 10%. How? It's impossible. Under this government, there was a grand theft of our oil resources. We could barely produce 700,000 barrels. There's no militancy in Niger Delta. During those days, we have militancy, sheep, kidnapping. But at least I'm not saying it's not there, but it's not something that's happening now. But 1.something trillion, super attacker come, you lost when, and people are stealing, and you're saying you want to pay debt. How will you pay the debt that you plunge us on? How?